All right, we are ready to continue. Now we're in the World Wars era, and we're past the colonial era, and this is where the game really starts to pick up, and I have to start being concerned about all of the parties, both foreign and domestic. I've got new political parties that I need to look at, so let's jump right into that.
What's that? Oh, Presidente. That's a relief. For a second there I thought you were the Hun. Can't be too careful, that's what the propaganda says, and I should know, I write it. Sit down, pour yourself a drink. I'm Winton Mulberry. Very pleased to meet you. Perhaps you can help me lose this damned war a little slower, eh?
All right, that's the Allies.
Do not be concerned by my physical severity, Presidente. I have a condition of the face muscles, which means that I cannot smile. Nevertheless, our relationship shall be a friendly one. It is preferable that what benefits the Axis benefits Tropico. However, if for some reason it does not, you shall comply anyway. In this way we shall be friendly, yeah?
All right, and I think the audio for everybody is much, much better now. I've changed everything, so there shouldn't be any more audio-related issues. It should come through clear and loud and without any kind of echoing. So the Ally and the Axis are the two foreign powers as opposed to one in the World Wars. And as for which one, they're basically mechanically the same. As for which one I'm going to end up siding with will probably come down to, as it typically does in real life, whoever gives me the best trade deals. And then we'll make a whole world war about it. So that's basically it, but it won't involve me too directly. Well, no. Tropico will single-handedly win World War I and World War II and World War III preemptively. Tropico will do all of that and more, obviously, but these parties here are the domestic parties that are going to stick around. Let's meet them. They're all going to be trouble for me, except for these guys. The militarists will not be too much trouble. Let's meet the capitalist now.
I'll be with you in a minute, Presidente. I'm just counting my money. Only joking. I wouldn't be with you in this lifetime if I had to count my fortune first. Mason Belmonte's the name, and money loves me, Presidente. And you know what? The more I have, the more I want.
All right, sounds complicated. The capitalists should like me to begin with because I have put in a couple of different policies that they should like, but they're not going to like me building lots and lots of accommodations for people who are in the poor economic class, which will be most of these housing that people can afford.
The comrades wish me to introduce you to all of them personally, Presidente, because none of us are more important than the others. But that would take a long time, so I will somehow strive to represent all of the comrades all of the time. I am not Marco Moreno, proud communist and family man. No, I am the very will of the people.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. So here are the communists, and they should like a couple of the different buildings that I make, but they're going to hate my government policies. Interestingly, it doesn't actually point out that the communists really, really hate any government policies that are especially libertarian. They really dislike, they're very authoritarian, and they really like, for total surveillance and for tools that, it literally says they dislike government tools that favor the rich and oppress the poor, but really they like the government to be more powerful and for there to be less privacy, and yeah, they do in fact not like buildings that are for filthy rich citizens, but still, what exactly annoys them depends. These different political parties will depend on what era you're in. I tend to have problems with the communists in the modern era, because I've already built everything they like, and then it's just a matter of they don't like my government policies, all the new ones that become available. And now for a faction that I'll probably never get along with.
Let me guess. You're thinking, a nun. I better not swear. You have no idea what a Sister of the Order of the Howling Skull is, do you, Presidente? Or how one wound up on your tropical island ministering to her flock? I'm Sister Francesca, and I've walked a long path to enlightenment with faith as my guide. But that's a different story.
Right, I've actually never heard her introduction. Yeah. Sister Francesca, the religious faction is probably the one which is going to be the hardest to deal with. I mean, they're not impossible to deal with, but I've already done a lot of things to piss them off. Like, aside from becoming an atheist state, most of the things I've done would have, although they should, theoretically, like basic accommodations, so we should be best friends, but I don't feel like it's going to work out that way. It never really does. But now for people who should always love me.
Do not fear the sanctity of your borders, Presidente, for I, General Rodrigo Rodriguez, lead your army. The very model of a modern armchair general, my lack of direct wartime experience gives me the edge, as my stratagems are completely unadulterated by any knowledge of past battles. I can therefore guarantee that the enemy will be surprised.
Alright, this lunatic is probably going to be my biggest fan in this era. Both of the parties that'll get added in the industrial era will be a lot nicer to me, but General Rodriguez is going to like me the most because I typically like to have professional army, and I like to have, I like to go ahead and have military police and just have military buildings and watchtowers be everywhere, just so I don't have to spend any money or taxes on the real police, you know? Why do you need real police when you have military police, right? No problem at all. They also have cooler uniforms, so it's all upsides, as far as I can tell. First things first, I should go ahead and I stole this world wonder and never placed it down. The Registan of Samarkand. I'm gonna make this a tourist location over here. So let's go ahead and I think that I'll put it down kind of like this. I don't want to like take up too much space because I want it to be next to this, but I have to build on top of the ancient ruin in order to build an attraction, and I want to leave a space for a road between them. So let's just do that. All right.
The palace heard the people crying out for a public square with traditional Islamic schools around the outside. And now your prayers have finally been answered.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they want. Sister Francesca is going to be absolutely thrilled. Speaking of that, let me actually take a look here. It's exactly what I expected. You know, she's not a huge fan of me. The communists aren't a huge fan of me. The militarists aren't. This is exactly what I expected, actually. The capitalists like me the most because of all of the policies I put into place, all of the edicts I have, church fee, no free lunch, urban development, which is just temporary, advanced boat services. I also want to put in employee of the month and maybe later child allowance, so that way people can afford to live in a house even if they have a child. What this does is you just pay $3 per child per month, which is a good thing because it prevents homeless families, which is good. That's pretty much the only welfare that I think that you need. Everything else will basically destroy your economy. But children are the future. Oh, I haven't met the broker yet, have I? Let's meet him, I guess.
They call me the broker. I guess I had another name once. But you know what names are good for? They're good for getting you arrested, Presidente. Well, that's not my game. My game would be business. Which business? Hey, what have you got?
Right. Nice to meet you, I guess. Yeah.
Would any of these be of interest to you? It's all strictly above board, of course.
Right. So, basically, you interact with them with your Swiss bank account. I don't ever really earn any money in my Swiss bank account. It's kind of pointless to do it. So I'm not going to, but I will need to earn some money, some Swiss bank account money in order to win, because I made that one of the necessary things. So I might do a couple of jobs for him in order to earn the money I need to win, because he gives you tasks just like everybody else, but they aren't really demands, since he doesn't get upset or, influence public opinion against you in any way. Most of his demands, though, some of them actually do annoy people, so I usually don't bother with that. They involve things like trading with non-foreign powers and stuff, which really just makes everyone angry. It could provide you with more money from trade, but you can just trade with foreign powers and not have any problems. Go ahead and look at the trade. We met the Axis and the Allies, right? These are the people I'm talking about. We've got the, who is it? The smugglers, Mexico, Dominican Republic. Yeah, mostly trading inside and around the Caribbean and Venezuela. All of them, that's what the broker would want me to do. Not a good idea. All it does is annoy people. Now let's see who is giving me the best deals. Now, of course, right from the start, both of them will give me the same deals, plus 5%. But it really is a matter of who's going to buy the stuff that I want to sell right now. I already have my eye on one of them. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna probably trade with the Axis, which is going to have a certain kind of impact over time in regards to who it is that I'm going to alienate. Obviously, the Allies aren't going to be a big fan of me trading with the Axis. I do already have a cigar factory, right? This is a rum distillery, and this is a tannery. How many educated citizens do I have? One of the mistakes I made was I didn't place this in in my last recording session as soon as I got it. So that way citizens born would have a high school education. So if I look at people, education, I've got 91 who are high school educated, but how many of them are unemployed? They're all uneducated. So we'll see if this works. I could build a cigar factory and see if people leave. I always just kind of buy the blueprints. There's not any real reason not to.
How can I help El Presidente win the war? The palace replies, vote El Presidente in the next election.
I'll go ahead and put that maybe right here. If I put this here, yeah, the tobacco fields are here, so it's not the most, like, the best path, but it's not too bad. Oh yeah, green waste choppers. Yeah. This would decrease the upkeep of nearby ranches. I might want to just do that over here. Yeah, let's do it on this one. It only affects nearby. Okay, and selective breeding. Go ahead and get this. This will decrease the upkeep of this ranch and another ranch that I might make. And this is just because it's corn. I'll go ahead and increase the efficiency. Okay. Cool. That is good. Canary decreases the risk of the building catching fire. That's fine. Yeah. That reminds me, I should have a few raid points, so let's go ahead and go rescue more educated people. Let's go ahead and put on some other raids lined up. Alright, and with that trade deal going, I might as well also export gold as well. Export gold. Oh, I didn't actually put this one on here. It's only I'm only exporting tobacco for now. I will go ahead and this will be built. It might not be built right away. Hopefully not, actually. I need to look at these guys. They are poor. Okay. Poor. These people are all poor. It would be more convenient for me, yeah, if some of them were well off. I suppose the ones working at the dock might have been the ones that were well off. This is like the worst place to live. It's right next to the manure spreader. I'm not entirely sure why they want to live here. This guy's well off. This guy's poor. One of the things I had considered doing was building some country houses over here, but they need to be well off or better, because they would fit within these spaces. So there is that opportunity there. Another thing I could do is, now that I've invented healthcare, I can build a clinic, and I can put the clinic over here. Not like right next to the manure spreader, maybe. That might not be a good idea. Yeah, right across the street from the tavern, or not across the street, right next to the tavern. I don't have anyone educated enough to work here, but the pirates are rescuing educated people right now, so it should be fine. Build 2 clinics. That should hopefully take care of my healthcare happiness a little bit.